Welcome back. So in my old blog, like I talked about Sonic Generations, that probably is my fifth favorite. I'd be hard-pressed to say that Sonic Lost World would fit that position, even though I did enjoy that game, like I've discussed endlessly in older videos. Oh, what my problems with that game are. It's a game that has some really good parts in it, but it's not really. So I would say Sonic Generations and Sonic. I haven't actually played too many of the 3D Sonic games. I've never even played Sonic 06. I would actually want to. And that naturally gets me on the topic of my least favorite Sonic games. And so, like I said, I never played Sonic 06. I know of it obviously, and I've seen a lot of other people play it. But the thing about, yeah, and I know it's a horrible buggy mess, but at the same time, like it's a horrible buggy mess. But the thing I kind of find a little unfair about people criticizing it is that the reason it's a buggy mess is that actually its development team got slashed in the middle of development because Sega wanted part of the team to go work on those Sonic Fairy Tale games that they made for the Wii. And I think if you're gonna like slash the production team of any game, like obviously it's gonna like reflect badly on it. And I just feel like bad for all the people who worked on that game that they kind of have their legacies have been kind of soiled because of that game. So my least favorite Sonic game, that I think there are actually worse Sonic games from the point of view that they actually were produced and went to completion exactly the way their development teams work, and that's why my least favorite Sonic game has always and will always be Sonic Spinball. Because it is an awful game. And it's so funny to me on the Sega Mega Drive Classics collection. It has all these different achievements for the various different Sega games, and some of them make a little bit of sense. A lot of them are a lot of them are on the easy side. Like there's literally like a bunch of them that are just beat the first boss of the game, like as if like players needed an incentive to like finish the first game of a level. Like if anything but then some are legit hard, like Streets of Rage. Like I think Streets of Rage 1 has that you have to make it to the final level without using a continue, which pretty challenging, I have to admit. Streets of Rage 2 has a pretty easy one where you have to beat like one level without picking up any items. Like that's pretty simple. But then Streets of Rage 3, the only accomplishment that you have for it is beat Streets of Rage 3, which like that's like God tier, or like dude. I have to figure out if there's like a freaking like an invulnerability code for it or something, because god damn it, that game is some bullshit. And yes, I do have kind of plans to maybe do a few of those games in the as Let's Plays on this channel. This level is kind of weird. Like I sometimes kind of forget. Oh, here's the trap. Here's this thing with the two with the two springs facing each other's total trap. I seriously always forget that this level is even in the game. By the way, I've asked this question on so many Let's Plays, I've never really gotten an answer to it because I always get cut off. But the check patterns, what was with 16-bit games that having check patterns in the background? I'm thinking, especially like if they had like diagonal check patterns. I think they were just showing off, like look what we can do with these graphics. Wow, damn graphics! Like it seems to me, it just shows up in so many 16-bit games. It shows up in Castlevania. It shows up in. I just recently did a little bit of Mickey Mouse, the Castle of Illusion, starring Mickey Mouse. Good boy, Tails. He kicked his ass. Yeah, this boss fight is... I could take a risk and try to hit him twice, but I'm honestly a little worried. Come on, Tails. You can do it. Tails is giving me a few freebie hits. Alright. Still have to... Oh! Like, when he's going down, you could hit him, but, like, I'm afraid of doing it because I'm afraid of losing my shield and... Okay. One more hit, I think. Jesus. I'm losing time for, like, getting the bonus that would give me the... Oh, no! I did get... Did I get an extra life from points? That's weird. I thought points... Oh, Like, getting a certain point, I think it's like 10,000 points... sorry, not 100,000 points, I think, always... No, sorry. So maybe I did get... And continue. Yes, I did. Oh boy, I'm gonna need those. Alright, here comes Mystic Cave Zoning. Mystic Cave Zone has... This first level isn't bad. The second level, oh my god, it has another, like, goddamn trap. There's this pit, and there's a... Before the pit, there's actually a point where you can get the invincibility. And it's annoying because what can happen very, very easily is that you get the invincibility, and then you fall down this pit of spikes. But, you know, that would kill you in a Sonic game anyway. But what's so annoying about it is that you usually have the invisibility when you fall down into the pit, so... and there's no way to get out of the pit, so you just have to sit there and wait for your invincibility to end, and you have to wait for sweet death, and usually you have rings at that point anyway, so, you know, it's gonna take a while. Which I'm not a fan of. It was funny, we had a conversation, I think, with Sendu about like, he was talking about how in Sonic 1, there's a bug that if you hit the spikes, you obviously fly backwards and you lose your rings. But then if you land immediately after that, if you land on the spikes, you die instantly. So, you know, the invincibility of losing the ring from getting hit the first time doesn't carry over on the spikes. And he was saying, like, how that was a bug, and I thought, and I was really, like, confused, like, is that really a bug? Because I suppose what he meant by that is that that's not the way the Sonic team intended for that to go. But in my honest opinion, like, that's another reason, like, I like Sonic 1. You know, I don't really think of it as a bug. I think of it's challenge. It's pressure. It's pressure for you to actually play well. That's why when I did that Super Mario Brothers 1 Let's Play, I actually ended up regretting not getting enough coins at the start, because I forgot that they were so sparing with the coins in that game. I was like thinking, like, it's Mario, I'm gonna get like a shit ton of coins, and then I forget, and I totally kind of forgotten that, no, that's actually in Mario 1, like, they're very, very sparing with the coins. Like, it's not like literally in, like, Super Mario, I think already in Mario 3, but especially in Mario World and then any of the newer ones, they are just way, way too generous with the coins, and as a result you end up with this crazy amount of extra lives at the beginning of the game. Case in point, watch my Super Mario Bros. 3 Let's Play, where I got like 50 lives before we even got into the, well, maybe not 50, but like some ridiculous number of lives before I was even in the Pyramid World. And then I didn't, oh shit, and then I didn't really start losing them until, Pipe World, I think. Pipe World, yeah. Ice and Cloud World were a cakewalk by comparison. Oh shit, I hate these guys. But I don't like doing the spin dash like forward because you really, I really don't feel like I have a lot of control over Sonic when I spin dash forward. I do think that's some bullshit. That's another newbie trap, is like the spikes coming out of the walls. Okay, I think we're getting close to the part where the pit is, so that's why I'm being extra careful now. Maybe a little too careful, but you know, yeah, I don't want to make an ass of myself. I keep talking about like all the death traps, like those things. So the thing I'm trying to kind of slowly build up to is like, I do like actually the 3D Sonic games. I don't have a hatred of them. I guess I took the route that doesn't have it because we're already at the boss. Oh yeah. Yeah. Okay, I don't think I can hit him when he's like that, but once he turns those sideways, I can get just a couple of good hits in. I said 6 hits in this, and it was 8 in the original. That's what I seem to remember, but my memory can be faulty at times. Oh man, that's another thing I do love about Sonic 3. Like, I do think Sonic 3 has a great soundtrack. Well, specifically, I love the boss theme in Sonic 3. It's so goddamn epic. They really, like, use the Mega Drive percussion to its fine, you know, at its best. Damn it. I guess it is more than 6, or I didn't hit him twice on those last go around. Yeah, well. What ifs? Too slow. I didn't even play any of the Sonic Boom games. I know those were rather notorious as well. That was probably the reason why I didn't play them, because everybody was just mocking them, making fun of them. I really don't like getting like any kind of sneak peek of a game before it comes out. I honestly want to be surprised. Okay, can I get? Yes, I love having Tails like do the infinite jump. Oil Ocean Zone. I do like the music in Oil Ocean Zone. I have to say I'm not a big fan of this level, especially the second part of it is kind of annoying. It's not a bad it's not a bad level, but it's this is where the game officially starts to get a bit tricky. But even so, even with its complaints, I do like this level. Like, my least favorite level of this entire game is Metropolis Zone. And it's ironically, you know, the thing that I like about Sonic 1 versus Sonic 2 is that I actually like the fact that all the zones had 3 levels. I didn't mind spending a lot of time in the levels before we got a new scenario, especially because the levels were so well designed. So I kind of honestly felt a little like we were getting ripped off a bit when we only had 2 acts per zone. But then of course Metropolis Zone, the worst fucking zone, has 3 acts. It's the only one. And no, I'm not getting the Chaos Emeralds. I have never gotten the Chaos Emeralds. I refuse to get them. I hate the minigame in this. It sucks ass. It is the assiest of all suckness, if you will. I kind of like the one in Sonic 3. It's not, but yeah, I've never gotten the Chaos Emeralds in that. The only game I ever got the Chaos Emeralds in was Sonic. Is Sonic 1. Sonic 1. And then of course you have to get them in. It doesn't count. But, well, of course I've gotten them in Sonic Adventure and Sonic Spinball. I've gotten a few of them. Because obviously you can't, because in the part of the story of those games you have to get them. So that one doesn't count. And I also don't really see the point of getting them. Like, for what? For temporary invisibility. That's already a power-up in this game. Like, why would you need it? Case in point, I am already supersonic. I don't need to turn yellow and be able to fly. Well, I guess flying would be kind of cool. That's the reason I like playing as Knuckles, because he can glide. Oh no, am I going the wrong way? And I lost all my rings. Already got confused, and we're not even in the part that I thought I was. Oh shit. That squid almost got me. Here we go. No! No, 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 no. Oof. Yeah. So if you've taken anything from this, like, it's the fact that I don't mind having, like, hard games. But, like, Metropolis Zone. So, why do I hate Metropolis Zone? First of all, I think it's just a boring level. I don't like the... Like, my least favorite level of the original Sonic the Hedgehog is actually the final level, which is the Scrap Brain Zone. And I don't like that level because it's just Robotnik's base. It's a factory, And it's not very, it's not very exciting, it's not very snazzy, the colors are kind of dull, all the enemies are just enemies you've already fought in other levels. And the most big obstacles, the new obstacles, are like big, like, buzzsaw blades and stuff like that. It's basically a level with no personality. That's my problem with it. And like even when they do a level like that in something like a Mega Man game, like they at least have like enemy characters that are unique to that level. So yeah, basically what I'm complaining about is that the theming is... It's funny because this was like a joke on Twitter. It must have been a joke on Twitter or something. Like the theming of that game, of that level, is so goddamn weak. That's the reason I hate it. And same thing. Well, Metropolis Zone is moderately better because it does actually have original enemies. There's the starfish and the mantis robots. But that's it. That's pretty much it. There's nothing else. Nothing else to that level. I do think. Okay, I will say there's one thing. I don't think it's like. It's not like much, but I do kind of like the thing when you're running on the giant nut and going upwards or downwards. Like that part is actually kind of fun. But then also those levels are kind of like very mazy. I don't mind the tricky platforming as much. It's really the maze part where you have to try to figure out where you're supposed to go. Yeah. And same thing about like Sonic Generations and also maybe Sonic Adventure. There is the problem with both of those games. I think that they're both a little too easy. So that's why they'll never be in my top 3. But I do like both of them enough that I would put them in my top 5, at least. Like, sure, like, even like Mario, Super Mario Brothers, like, it's very basic when you get right down to it. Oh, I love this boss fight, by the way. I love because, okay, here I'm not worried about, like, hitting him multiple times because all I have to do is dodge that and then the laser. Tropical laser beams of love. Tropical lima beams of... Oh, the gun hurts me. I meant that as in touching the gun hurts me. Obviously, like if it shoots you, that hurts you too. Yes, and he's already done. That was easy. Too easy. Oh dear, and it's Metropolis Zone time, isn't it? Oh, okay. We'll cut it here, and when we come back, it's Metropolis Zone time.